Riverside, California, former National Golden Gloves champ at 178 pounds. He also won 3 junior Olympic titles. It was an extensive amateur career before he turned pro 3.5 years ago. And Arreola stayed consistently busy. He's taken out his last 7 opponents inside the distance, including a third-round TKO win in his last fight in February. He fights with intensity, mixes his attack, and is very difficult to discourage. 26-year-old Chris Arreola, 19-0, 17 knockouts. Steve, what's behind the numbers?
Well, Nick, size does matter. Arreola belongs at 230, not 245 or 250. When he's lighter, it helps him both physically and psychologically. Tonight, he's 235. Standout win. Arreola's stoppage of Damian Wills in November was as impressive as any win scored by any of the young American heavyweights. Wills was 21-0-1 going in. A nice progression. Arreola's been facing battle-tested heavyweights. His 6 most recent opponents averaged 26 fights per man. That's a lot.
Malcolm Tann started boxing when he was in the Air Force. Later became a National Golden Glove super heavyweight champion. He was in Showbox 2 years ago when he faced Leroy Childs and absolutely overwhelmed him with a vicious body attack on the way to a second-round TKO. Since that first Showbox appearance, Tann's had elbow, ankle, eardrum injuries, and they've all forced the 28-year-old to rebuild his career. He's coming off a 4-round unanimous decision win in March. Tann was already on tonight's card in a different fight, but when Arreola's original opponent, Devin Vargas, suffered an injury this week, Tann jumped at the exposure he'd get on Showbox. Malcolm Tann, 23-2, a dozen KOs. Take us behind those numbers, Steve.
Well, wins and losses, Nick. Tann's losses to Dominic Jenkins, 5-3-1, and Willie Chapman, 17-18-3, are more bad than his 2 biggest wins over Derek Bryant and Jason Gavern are good. Heavyweight. Tann fights best when he weighs in around 230. Tonight he's 230. He's had less than a week's notice for Arreola, but he was scheduled to fight on this card all along. And lasting long. Tann has recently twice gone the distance with Wade Lewis, who had been stopped 13 times, and he went the distance with Cedric Fields, who had been stopped 7 times. Tann is more volume puncher than KO puncher.
It's a flat-out battle of big guys. The heavyweights, Chris Arreola facing Malcolm Tann in our first Showbox fight of the night, 8 rounds or less. Here's ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Pearl here at the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have a big night of action coming your way. It's Showbox, the new generation, and it's brought to you by Goose & Tudor Promotions, along with Showtime, and sponsored by Sicily Italian Kitchen. Tonight's action, ladies and gentlemen, is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Tony Alamo, executive director Keith Kaiser. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you at this time are 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside: Dick Houck, Dave Moretti, and Glenn Trowbridge. And our 3rd man in the ring is the Hall of Fame referee, Robert Byrd. All right, fans, here we go with a heavyweight special attraction scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, he weighed in at 230 pounds. With a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, he has 12 wins, coming by way of knockout from Seaboard, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a fighter they call the Showstopper, Malcolm Tann. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner in this 8th-round attraction, wearing black trunks with silver trim. He weighed in at 235 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with 19 wins, no losses, 17 big wins coming by way of knockout from Riverside, California. Introducing the undefeated Cristobal, the Nightmare Arreola. Once again, a referee in charge, Robert Byrd, now to give instructions.
Gentlemen, you had your instructions in the dressing room. The only thing I'm going to tell you now is when I tell you stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. Let's do it.
Arreola, you see 235, about 5 pounds more than he'd want to be. Also, he's listed at 6'4". He's more like 6'2".
And as always, here in Nevada, the unified rules of boxing apply. We're waiting to get underway here. False bell, and now we will have it. Robert Byrd, he's heard a few of those, so he'll be more than ready. Chris Arreola on the right. You see Malcolm Tann, also in black and white. On the left, he is big, 6'6", 230. Condition, stamina on both these guys. Certainly conditioning always a key. And very early, what did you think of the weight, Steve?
Arreola, the reason he fought so well against Damian Wills was he was 230. Does 5 pounds make a lot of difference? Probably it depends on how you condition yourself in camp. But it made all the difference to him taking off about 20 pounds. Let's see how active he is in coming forward, how many punches he throws tonight.
Chris Tann, a big guy, should get it done from outside whenever he can.
Yeah, he's trying to do it now, but the pressure, I think, of Arreola is going to hinder that. So he's cutting the distance, and he's doing well.
Now it's Tann in the corner, trying to push his way out, really. Again, he's got that long reach. He wants to get full extension. But Arreola, to punctuate the point, is very, very tough to discourage. He continues. He's fighting to win every moment. Unbeaten, but completely untested. Now he's got Tann again backed up into the corner.
And you see Tann very, very conscious of getting out of dodge. You know, he doesn't want to be in close. This fight is easy to analyze because Arreola wants to be in close. Tann wants to be outside.
Wide punches from Arreola. What do? You go up, shoot him up the middle with counters?
He shoots straight shots. And Malcolm Tann is trying to do it, but Chris Arreola has just tremendous pressure already. And he's coming forward. He's making the fight.
Tann's got to put it in the middle of the ring. He's trying to fight off the ropes. He's a very exciting fighter when he's inside, a place he shouldn't be. We've seen him in some, I think, fabulous fights, and he's gone down. He's very vulnerable inside, but he wants to go to war, especially when he gets stung. But again, he's backing up and just trying to get off here and not putting anything together as Tann on the left of your screen. And Arreola is pure pressure. Here he comes, wide hook, right hand follow-up hook to the body. So Arreola there, 3 punches, nothing coming back from Tann, who's trying to get dialed in, and Arreola begins to swarm. I think Tann's waiting for it.
Punch, get out, hands free.
Tann, I think Chris hit it on the head. Tann's been a little overwhelmed right here. The pressure is pretty severe.
Yeah, I think the short notice, is surprising him. He getting in the ring. I think he's seen him on tape and he thought it was going to be easy. The pressure is hard. He's coming straight ahead, too.
Yeah, Arreola, who's really hammering away here, and Tann on the ropes. Arreola said it would be difficult to adjust. It was difficult for him to adjust to a new opponent in just 5 days. He had no trouble at all here through the first round. It has been all the man on the right, Chris Arreola.
Listen for the bell, guys. Bell!
And we talked about strategy. Let's hear it from both of them. Tann and Arreola talk about what they need to do.
Round 1, I'm coming out like a whirlwind. I'm just coming out ready to fight. Like Mike Tyson with his license back. First of all,
well, I heard enough. Come on, guys.
How you feel? Good. Hey, look. Don't smother yourself, right? Go to work. This motherfucker don't want to play, right? But don't get overconfident. Keep banging away at the body. You just break him down round by round, okay? Keep working. Good work. Behind the jab, good head movement. Once you get inside, rip the shots downstairs, then try to come up on top and finish, all right? Relax. How you feel? Good? One more. Buen trabajo, Again? Okay, seconds out, see?
Get ready for the second round. Chris, when a trainer, and your dad's your trainer, asks you how you feel, what does he really expect you to say after one round? Do you feel horrible?
Expect you to say I feel great.
Henry Ramirez, the trainer of Arreola, he does a great job and talked about it's going to be all about pressure. And when Arreola's inside, if he's losing the fight, then they're in trouble. He hasn't done a thing wrong in this fight. At Tann on the right, now letting his hands go a little bit and trying to create space.
Nick, it's early, but you get the impression that at some point in the first 4 or 5 rounds of this fight, Malcolm Tann's going to have to land something meaningful to kind of get Arreola off him.
Malcolm Tann needs to box. He needs to try to keep this fight in the middle of the ring. I mean, he's just allowing him to walk straight in. He needs to take Chris Arreola in circles.
So some turns maybe from and using angles. Can't talk about it, but Arreola now here Tann wanting to get some respect back as he starts to wing some serious shots. Tann's got power, but again, boxing would be the best way to go. There, left, and he soaks up a right to the body, does Arreola. Now Tann starting to get interested.
He's doing the right thing. He's sticking the jab. Keep your jab out there.
And you see these guys fairly close in number of bouts. Tann a lot more rounds. He's been